Hello, beach friends. There's something about the beach that keeps shellers coming back again and again. There's always that quiet feeling that the ocean might leave behind something new, especially after there's been some dredging. Yes, that's right, I'm back at Delray Beach because sometimes the real joy of shelling isn't just what we find, it's the simple hope of what might be waiting along the next stretch of shoreline. And I'm really hoping for a repeat performance of what I found the last time I tried shelling in this area. Now that striped false limpet, yeah, that is swell. But I'm really hoping for some good stuff. Look at this, right at eye level, we have a green star shell. So this funky ledge was created by this dredging, and this is primarily the area that we will be spending our time in. I will admit, I do finally do some digging, but that's going to be at the very end of the video. Oh, yeah, a shiny auger. Yeah, if you've seen any of my other previous East Coast shelling adventures, you may already know that I really have an affinity for those shiny augers. And frankly, I have an affinity for a lot of these East Coast shells because once again, I find a bucket list shell. So shelling in this kind of environment is always super exciting. And I was hoping and I was rewarded by coming all the way back onto the East Coast. So if you're ready to see what all is out there for us today, let's go to the beach. It's funny how you can sometimes recognize things. This bucket list shell for me, this is an Atlantic Distorsio. I have never found one until now. These are super cool in my opinion just because they're distorted. They look kind of weird and bendy. I'm finally holding one that I found. I was gifted one, which was really, really nice, but to find my own, oh my gosh! What else? What else magical shelf are you going to give to me? Okay, we have a West Indian dove snail. Excellent. Fantastic. I found so many of those the last time I was here. What else? And it's a weird way to shell. We have a orange marginella. Look, isn't that gorgeous? I think that's the first one I've ever found. Almost looks like a little cowrie. Those marginellas with their columellar folds. Those are actually not little teeth on the inside. They're columellar folds where the animal kind of holds on to the shell. What is this? So, this is my first Florida moon snail. I know I find the colorful moon snails. This is not a colorful moon snail. This is a Florida moon snail. My first. Yes, my first Florida. I know it looks similar. Actually, this one could have a little bit more color on it, but that's okay. Yes, and you might have noticed I am getting sand blasted today. It was super duper windy. Look at this queen. So this is a queen conch, a juvenile queen conch. And yes, I will have very soft skin by the time I go home because, like I said, I'm getting sand blasted. And that's okay. That's how it works sometimes. Just gonna have to hold on to the shells really good. Aww, that's kind of a heartbreaker. Yeah, a broken flat. So you really got to choose if you're going to be shelling up here or down there. And once you choose, you kind of got to climb up. It wasn't easy. It was not easy this day of shelling. That is a little mystery to me. I don't know what that is. I did try to reach out on social media with some of these shells. I was successful with some, not so much with others. So I am not sure what that is. If you have a guess, by all means, throw it down below. And if you really know, that would be helpful. That is a keyhole limpet. Maybe a cayenne keyhole limpet? I don't think it was. What do we got? Okay, that's a fighting conch. Yep, juvenile fighting conch. All right, cool. Heavy enough to sit in my hand. Oh, here's a little, let's see. Now that I think is a juvenile cowrie because the juvenile cowries are a very much different shape than the adults. Yeah, that's what I think that is. is a juvenile yellow cowrie, if I had to guess. Hopefully we'll find maybe a whole one today. Well, believe me, I got all sorts of hopes of what I could find. All right, magical wall. Okay, that's a lightning whelk, and we know that immediately because the aperture is on the left. So we know that that is a lightning whelk. Okay, magical ledge. Let's see what else. All right, so there was a lot of mysteries. So this to me has the shape of a dove snail, but I don't know what it is. Miter, I don't know. Don't know. Fun little thing. So this video was fun to make because I did a lot more research than I normally do. That's a mystery. I don't know what that is. Is this a coffee bean trivia? Why, yes it is. Isn't that adorable? Yeah, it's got a little sand in the aperture and the opening there, but that is a coffee bean trivia. I think they're so cute. Cute little thing. All right, what's up here? Oh, I see something. Okay, so yeah, I decided to climb up because it was a cone. Now this is a mouse cone, and what I think is very interesting about this is that some of the cone snails will dissolve the interior of their shell to make room to eat bigger things or to reinforce the outer part of their shell. And that's what looks like that particular cone did. It actually dissolved its own interior. Yeah, I've been looking for a shell like that. That's kind of cool. That's another, yep, a false limpet, striped false limpet, and a real limpet. Okay. So the real limpets are true gastropods and they can breathe underwater. The false limpets, not so much. Mystery, little mystery shell. So it kind of has the shape of like a chestnut lattice, but it's I don't think that's yeah, I don't know what that is. And that is a broken piece of lady-in-waiting Venus clam. Okay, worm snail, excellent. Bits and pieces and yep. All right, what's next? Oh, it's a star shell. Ooh, a big one too. Oh, that's terrific. I'm gonna go wash that off. Oh no. Is there a hole in it? There might be. Yeah, yep, there sure is. But I think if I hold, let's see, can I get an angle where, yep, there's the angle right there. Oh, perfect. Yep, gorgeous. And I don't find a lot of them, so something like that I'm gonna hold on to. I normally am pretty picky about the broken shells, but not when they're new to me. So I'm gonna hold on to that broken star shell. Right? Looks like a piece of a lightning whelk, and it is. Well, most of a lightning whelk. Kind of broken there. All right, you know what? Now that I'm thinking of it, I don't normally find lightning whelks on the East Coast. Huh. At all. I'm trying to think my memory. Like normally, no. I mean, I find a lot of lightning whelks, but not so much over here. Hello, shiny auger. Yes, I'm going to add you, a couple of your friends in my shell bag. Excellent. Oh, you have a drill hole. Makes you even a little more special. Oh, a bubble. Yes, I forgot how big the bubbles get over here. Oh, I'd really like to find, oh yeah, those are cool. To find a whole bunch of the big ones, oh, that would be awesome. One's fine, one's good. Now this was weird. Is this a rose murex? I mean, that, if I were to find this on the west coast of Florida, immediately I would say, yep, rose murex. But that's just really, really, really weird. Really weird. I do think that might be a rose murex. Just strange. I did see a little star shell, but this sundial, look at how cute. It's trying to get away. Adorable. All right, so it's, yeah, ever so slightly broken on the aperture, but it's so cute. Oh, that's awesome. So that is a common sundial. Oh, another piece of flat. Oh, that's a heartbreaker, man. Oh, yeah, those are great shells to find, but that's only about like 55%. Oh. All right, I hit the flat section. All right, I'm holding on to that one. Yeah. That's a zigzag flat. That is awesome. Yeah, it's a little, I'm just gonna file it down. Yeah. Oh, it's so pretty. A lovely, lovely zigzag flat. Next up, very sandy shell, a deltoid rock snail, a rock shell. Cool. They're funny little shaped things. deltoid rock snail. Got a little less sand on that. Yeah, they're fun little thing. Never, ever, ever saw one on the West Coast. Methinks they live over here on the East Coast. Fun, another fun little shell. I think that is a stocky seraph. I think. It's not in great shape. Yeah, but I think that's what that is. Yeah. So part of the fun is not only finding the shells for me, but part of it is identifying it. So sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. Yeah, on this trip, wait, what is that? I definitely am not successful on quite a few. That is another green star shell. Oh, that is awesome. Yep, lovely. You look like you're pretty intact. Okay, that was good enough to go down by the water. Yep, good enough for me. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I don't find those. I don't find any star shells unless I go up to like Honeymoon Island, and they do have some long spire star shells. Cowrie? No, is it an orange marginella? Yeah, that's an orange marginella. Where actually, is that an Atlantic marginella? The ones I usually find are a lot smaller. They breed them bigger over here. Either way, marginella, really cool. A little point of fighting conch. Yep. One of our common fighting conchs, although they're not all that common over here, are they now? Oh, a cone. Although I guess I'm going to pick up this olive first. That's an alphabet cone. Whoa. Wow, that is my first East Coast alphabet cone. Oh, it looks weird. I mean, not weird. I mean, I could tell what it is, but yeah, definitely a little different than the ones I typically find. Oh, well, that is fun. And the olive. Yep. Oh, that's great. Another little cone to add to my collection. Okay, another moon snail. What are you? Are you a Florida? No, I actually think you're a colorful moon snail. I think. Yeah, with a big old caveat of that I could absolutely be wrong on that, but I'm guessing that that is a colorful moon snail. Oh, that is a calico clam. Look at how white the base color is. I don't usually find them. They're more of like a brown tan. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, they really make them different over here. It's so fun. It's like a totally different state. All right. Looks like olive and shiny auger. Yep. And that's what we got there. We got ourselves an olive and a shiny auger. Yay! And, all right, one of those West Indian dove snails. Okay, piece of lightning whelk. Let's see, a piece, probably a fighting conch. All right, another one of those dove snails. Yeah, they're just hardy little things, and they're not even broken. Okay, no, what's that? Maybe a Peel's cone, maybe? I don't think that's a dusky cone. Oh, did I miss that juvenile sunrise? I think I did. Here's a little moon snail. Yep, that's another one of those little... Yeah, I might just consider that a mystery moon snail. I can't quite tell. Oh, another rock, yeah, green star shell, rather. Not a rock snail, a green star shell. Fantastic. Lots of crushed up stuff here. Yeah, I'm probably stretching to reach. Yeah, someone offered me a Cuban drill on this one, and I couldn't figure it out. I looked up Cuban drill, and I couldn't find it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. A lot of mysteries we have going on here. Now, this, I believe, is a Bermuda cone. That was a little bit easier to identify because it has all those little bumps on it. And there is a little extra bit of beach stuff on top, but isn't that fun? So that's a little Bermuda cone. Another one of those calico clams. Still very light, nice. Yeah, even the ground up stuff is fun. All right, what do we got here? Another, that might be a broken rock snail. Okay, that's one of those oysters. Yep, some sort of, perhaps it was a thorny oyster at one point. All right, Some crushed up stuff. Oh, there's a little auger. That's pretty. There's another, yeah, just little things. Oh, what do you think? I do think that that is a chestnut lattice. I think it's just a juvenile. Beautiful color on that. So that's what I'm guessing. I'm like 95% certain that's what that is. Oh, that, okay, so there is a sunrise talon. Yep. Not in great shape. It does have a drill hole, and I don't find them often, so that's exciting for me. Yeah, this is going to be a mystery. It looks like some sort of rock shell, but it's got that extra little, like, bump on it. Like if you turn it over in the aperture, see that other little bump at like maybe 2 o'clock? Yeah, yep, don't know. Don't know what that is. Ooh, yep, that's another big star shell. Maybe this one will, yeah, that looks intact. The other one had a hole in it. All right, let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, I do. It's one of the larger shells, I guess you can kind of, oh no, I guess helmets and stuff you can get. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And that red stuff, yeah, it's almost rock-like. I don't know what that red stuff is. Probably worm snail, actually. It's probably exactly what that is. So we have a green star shell with some worm rock on it. All right, this looks promising. Ooh, yes it is. So that's a sundial. Fantastic. Oh, that's great. Yep. That is great. Love those. I don't have very many in my collection, so any of the sundials right now are going to be memorable. I probably have less than 10. All right, wall. What else you got? That's a slipper. Okay, that's a fighting conch. Cool. What else do we have? Okay, there's another olive. Yeah, olives. Yep, most of the ones, I guess, over here on the East Coast, they call them netted olives. And I did try to go down a little olive rabbit hole, and I was relatively frustrated because there's so many different, there's a whole subspecies out there. So you know what? Once I finally figure it out, I'll try to report back. I don't know how much time I'm really going to spend. Here we have a broken shell. So there's a couple different olives. Does it really matter the species? I guess it's up to you whether you think that's a mossy arc, whether you want to figure out exactly what kind of species of shell you have. That is a Cabrit murex. So I know exactly the species of that, even though it's very, very covered in sand. Now, I'm just going to kind of collect. I'm not going to wash everything off right now because I'll just be going back and forth, back and forth. So I did find this good spot. So I'm going to try to like extract what I can from this little wall here, and then I'll wash everything off. I don't know what that is, and I'm afraid that it might be something good, so I'm going to wash it off and then determine. Oh, a sundial. Oh, another one. Oh, it's big too. Oh, that's great. It looks like it's in great shape. At least it looks like it's unbroken. All right, wall. What else you got for me? All right, decided to move oh yeah, I don't want to bury. I don't want to lose them. Okay, what else we got? A piece of broken, something. I mean, I just pulled a Cabrit murex out. You just never know. All right, so the sundial, the Cabrit murex, I see a couple of olives. All right, let's grab you two. Oh, all right, you mystery thing. I want to know what you are, so let's find out. Okay, all right, we have some rocks. Okay, they were mysteries. Now I know why I didn't recognize them. All right, get rid of those. All right, so we have a couple more of those netted olives. Very pretty. The Cabrit murex, another sundial. Oh my gosh. Another Cabrit. So I got one last week when I was, or the last time I came over here. Oh, bummer. It's got a little break in it. That's okay though. Especially because most of the time you hold it like that anyway. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. And the sundial. Oh my gosh, the Distorcio, more of these. Oh my gosh. I'm feeling pretty grateful, feeling pretty good. And I'm feeling like I should maybe be quiet and let you all have some beach time. Oh, another star shell. Terrific. Terrific. Oh, that's great. That's a really good one. I tend to like the juvenile species. I mean, everyone wants a big old horse conch. I kind of like the ponies. So I don't know. Does anybody else roll like that? Just kind of like the juvenile versions. It looked like a piece of Scotch bonnet, but I think that's a piece of ponderous arc. Now this little guy, I was able to figure it out, and it was kind of annoying though because it has two common names and then it has its scientific name, which is really nice because the scientific name is always going to be the same. The common name, kind of like the colorful moon snail or the gaudy nautica. So some of these have two names just to make things a lot more fun. So here I think is another one of those stocky serifs. What is this little, what? Looks like a little dove snail. That looks like a little glossy dove snail. Amazing that these little tiny snails and shells can even manage the surf that goes on over here. Oh, I think that's a milk moon snail. Wow, that is white. So yep, I think we're looking at a milk moon snail. Another one of those olives. Let's go with netted olive, I guess. Yep, milk moon snail and a netted olive. What do I see? Oh, a dime. Excellent. I'm getting paid. I can make a phone. Well, I used to be able to make a phone call, not anymore, right? So, all right, that's, I think this maybe only second time I've found change on the beach. All right, we have a comb bittersweet. That's kind of the wavy one on the leftish. And then that pretty scallop, that is a calico scallop. Love those bursts of orange on there. Shiny augers. Yes, so in the background, I am definitely still picking up shiny augers. Whoa. What are you, moon snail? Can't tell. That marking, I'm not sure. I don't know, but it sure is pretty. Another one of those deltoid rock? No, it's just maybe a rock snail? I don't know. That's another one of those ones with that weird little appendage or that little 2 o'clock mark on it. I can't imagine all of the amazing things that are just buried in this shelf here. Oh my gosh. Yep. Okay, little man of war, one of those siphonophores. It's kind of hanging out. Yeah. No tentacles on that one. I'm very, very weary of them for sure. I would prefer, although most of the time I'm pretty much covered up. But yeah, I prefer not to get stung. Oh, there's that ledge. I imagine this ledge is going to be here for a while. Oh, there's another one of those deltoid rock snails. They're really kind of cool. I think that's about as big as they get. Big old aperture. Those are not, I still have not found a nerite, so I'm still on the hunt. There are so many shells I have not found yet. That is a rough scallop. Gorgeous. Yep, with its little marks on it. That is beautiful. Another bubble. Yep. Another bubble. A little bit on the larger side than some of the ones we get over here. Fun. Why are you bigger over here? It's fun. Just different. Mystery shells. They have the dove shape. I want to call them like maybe miters. I don't know, but those are a mystery. So yep, working that wall there. Decided at this point to maybe do some digging, but before I got up to the digging grounds, look at that sundial. Oh, it's spectacular. And for the most part, I've let the sundials dry out and I've kind of just like tapped them and I've gotten most of the sand out of them. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, that's great. So happy. Love a good common sundial. Okay, I think that's a rock shell. Yep. I think we're looking at a Florida rock shell, rock snail. Yep. Lovely. Okay, so I did some digging, and this is what I got on this stocky serifs, an olive star shell, another alphabet cone, another moon snail, a deltoid rock shell, and that shiny auger. So what I'm doing is I'm digging. They're kind of sandy. I pop them to the side. Once they dry off, I'm able to kind of just like push the sand off of them. Another sundial. Fantastic. All right, that one's a little broken. That's okay. And then another shiny auger and another one of those rock snails. Fantastic. That works for me. And because I was ready to go down that olive rabbit hole, I am going to collect a lot of olives, shiny augers. It looks like a little cone in there. What is that? don't know. It almost, nah, kind of looks like a Florida cone, kind of, maybe, sort of. Yay, another brownie. Or Bowling's fulgur. I don't call it fulgurator anymore. This is a Bowling's olive. Oh, it's awesome, which supposedly is a subspecies of the netted olive. So I've learned a little bit, mostly that it's confusing to identify olives. So another sundial, more like a middle size. Awesome. More cones. I think that's another marginella. Mouse cone, another one of those kind of sort of looking Florida cone looking things. And I think a rock shell. Yeah, I think that is a rock snail. So sorry, trying to hold it steady. The wind is blowing, but still digging away here. All right, next up, we have a couple of moon snails. I don't know what that other one is. A sundial, another olive, that West Indian dove snail, and then there's a Scotch bonnet in there. It's pretty beat up, but it is a Scotch bonnet. So that's the West Indian dove. And the Scotch had two of those varices on it. Yeah. It's in pretty rough shape, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. But that, I don't know what that is. That is some sort of moon snail, but I've never found one, and I couldn't quite figure it out. I did not identify that, but I do think that is a mouse cone. And then, yeah, we did say that is a dove snail. And then a Pennsylvania lucine and a shiny auger. That seems appropriate. So I did finally do some digging. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite way to kind of film. I prefer to be out looking at the beautiful beach. But look, you got to do what you got to do to get them shells sometimes. So today there was only a little bit of garbage. It was only a little over 1 ounce, but it does add up because over time I've been able to remove a little over 94 pounds of garbage from our beaches. And today I've removed some worm snails, looks like some mystery things, some striped false limpets, a rough scallop. There is one bittersweet in there, a bunch of those limpets. Some mystery, looks like maybe crosshatch lucines, frond oysters, those are thorny oysters, a tusk shell, sundials. There's some sunrise talons in there, that mouse cone, lightning whelk, green star shells, Pennsylvania lucines, and that dime. Augers, shiny augers, and common augers. We have some fighting conchs, I don't know if that's a rose murex, a spiny jewel box, a couple of mouse cones, cone bittersweet, bubbles, coffee bean trivia. There is a calico scallop and mystery shells. Yeah, that line on top. The olives are below. On top, I don't know, maybe chestnut lattice, rock snails, maybe, that might be a juvenile milk conch, that white one. So yeah, a couple of mystery, I don't know. Marginellas, more mysteries, deltoid rock snails, some moon snails that I can identify, one that I cannot. There's calico clams, let's see, dove snails, those are West Indian Gulf or dove snails, yes. And then these are my favorite shells. So there was the Cabret murex, the alphabet cone, the star shell, the marginella, the brown, I'm going to call it a brownie, the distorcio. Okay, the sundials. Yeah, the distorcio is probably my single favorite shell from the day. That flat, that bubble, and then we're going to kind of get back into those augers. But what a fun day. Yeah. And I know I didn't find a lot of the stuff digging. I mean, I found a lot of good stuff digging, but I'm still probably going to keep doing what I normally do, is do the old walk on the beach. And none of these trips would be possible without the support from my Patreon. So Patreons, thank you so very much for choosing to support me, coming along on these trips. I will be dedicating specific special content for my Patreons moving forward. So last week we took a look at those knob whelks and how they cleaned up. And so I will just different videos. I'm going to be trying to do special things for just my Patreons. Next week, we are headed to Lover's Key. So until then, I hope you have yourself a wonderful week, and I'll see you again next Sunday.